On December 4, 1872, a ship called the DEI Gratia spotted something unusual in the vast Atlantic Ocean. It was another vessel, the Mary Celeste, sailing erratically. The DEI Gratia, captained by David Morehouse, approached cautiously. The Mary Celeste seemed deserted. Morehouse sent a boarding party to investigate. They found the ship eerily deserted, with no signs of struggle or violence. It was as if the crew had vanished into thin air. The table was set for a meal, with half-eaten food still on plates. Personal belongings lay untouched in cabins. The ship's logbook ended abruptly, with no explanation for the crew's disappearance. The Mary Celeste was, for all intents and purposes, a ghost ship. It had been sailing on autopilot, a phantom vessel adrift in the open sea. The discovery of the abandoned Mary Celeste sent shockwaves through the maritime world. How could a seaworthy vessel be found deserted without a trace of its crew? Where had they gone, and what had become of them? These questions have haunted maritime historians and armchair detectives for over a century, turning the Mary Celeste into a legend synonymous with maritime mystery. The Mary Celeste quickly became a fixture in newspapers and taverns, a tale whispered with a mix of fascination and dread. Was it piracy on the high seas? Had the crew been taken by some unknown force? Or was there a more rational, albeit equally unsettling, explanation for their disappearance? The mystery of the Mary Celeste, once confined to the annals of maritime history, had captured the public imagination. One of the most perplexing aspects of the Mary Celeste mystery was the missing lifeboat. It was gone, suggesting that the crew had abandoned ship for reasons unknown. But why would a seasoned crew abandon a perfectly seaworthy vessel in calm weather? This question has fueled endless speculation, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. Some theories suggest that the crew encountered a waterspout, a terrifying whirlwind that can capsize ships. Fearing for their lives, they might have hastily launched the lifeboat, hoping to ride out the storm. Others propose that a sudden and violent storm, one not recorded in the ship's log, forced them to abandon ship. Perhaps they believed the Mary Celeste was taking on water and wouldn't survive the onslaught. However, the relatively good condition of the Mary Celeste when it was found contradicts these theories. The ship was not damaged in any way that would suggest a catastrophic event. The sails were in reasonable shape and there was no sign of flooding. This lack of evidence only deepens the mystery, making the crew's decision to abandon ship even more baffling. If not a natural disaster, what could have driven the crew to abandon ship? Was it a mutiny, a desperate act fueled by fear or madness? Or was it something even more sinister, a force unknown to man that compelled them to leave the safety of the Mary Celeste? The missing lifeboat, a silent witness to the unfolding drama, holds clues but offers no easy answers. The isolation and close quarters of life at sea have often been blamed for strange and unsettling behavior. In the case of the Mary Celeste, some theories suggest that mutiny or madness gripped the crew, leading to their disappearance. Perhaps a disagreement among the crew escalated into violence, culminating in a deadly confrontation. The perpetrators might have then fled in the lifeboat, leaving no trace of their crime. Another theory proposes that the ship's cargo of denatured alcohol played a role in the crew's disappearance. Some speculate that the crew, driven by thirst or desperation, may have tampered with the cargo, leading to accidental poisoning or a drunken rampage that ended in tragedy. The effects of alcohol poisoning could explain the crew's erratic behavior and their decision to abandon ship. However, there's no evidence to support these theories. The crew of the Mary Celeste was known to be experienced and reliable. Captain Benjamin Briggs, a seasoned mariner with a spotless record, was highly respected. It seems unlikely that such a crew would succumb to mutiny or reckless behavior. Furthermore, investigations found no signs of a struggle or foul play on board. While theories of mutiny and madness offer a glimpse into the darker side of human nature, they fail to fully explain the Mary Celeste's abandonment. The lack of concrete evidence and the crew's known professionalism cast doubt on these explanations. The mystery, much like the vast ocean that swallowed the Mary Celeste's secrets, remains unsolved. The vastness of the ocean has always bred myths and legends of terrifying sea creatures. It's no surprise, then, that some theories about the Mary Celeste involve encounters with monstrous denizens of the deep. Tales of colossal krakens, giant squid with tentacles capable of crushing ships, have circulated among sailors for centuries. These stories, passed down through generations, have become part of maritime folklore, painting a picture of the ocean as a place of both wonder and terror. The idea of a giant squid or kraken attacking a ship is not just a tale of horror, but a reflection of the fear and respect sailors have for the sea's unknown depths. Could a creature of such immense size and power have attacked the Mary Celeste, dragging the crew into the depths? The thought alone is enough to send shivers down one's spine. Imagine being on a ship in the middle of the vast, dark ocean, only to see massive tentacles rising from the water, wrapping around the vessel with a grip of iron. The crew, in a state of panic, would have had little time to react. The sheer force and unpredictability of such an attack would have left them with few options, possibly leading them to abandon ship in a desperate attempt to escape. Some proponents of this theory point to the discovery of sucker marks on the ship's hull as evidence of a giant squid attack. These marks, they argue, are telltale signs of a struggle between the ship and a massive sea creature. The circular imprints resembling the suction cups of a squid's tentacles suggest a violent encounter. However, the interpretation of these marks is highly debated. While some see them as clear evidence of a giant squid, others believe they could be the result of other natural phenomena or even human activity. They argue that the crew, terrified by the assault, might have fled into the lifeboat only to be pulled under by the creature's massive tentacles. The image of sailors desperately trying to escape only to be dragged back into the abyss is a haunting one. It speaks to the primal fear of the unknown and the powerlessness one feels in the face of nature's fury. The lifeboat, meant to be a means of salvation, becomes a trap, sealing the crew's fate as they are pulled into the depths by the relentless grip of the sea monster. The image of the Mary Celeste under siege by monstrous kraken, its tentacles wrapped around the masts, is a chilling one, fueling nightmares and captivating imaginations. This scene, often depicted in art and literature, captures the essence of maritime horror. The kraken, with its enormous size and strength, represents the ultimate sea monster, a creature that defies understanding and challenges the very notion of human dominance over nature. The Mary Celeste, caught in its grasp, becomes a symbol of the fragile line between safety and peril on the open sea. However, the sucker marks, if they existed, were never conclusively linked to a giant squid. The evidence remains circumstantial at best, leaving room for doubt and alternative explanations. Marine biologists and experts in marine life have examined the marks, but the lack of definitive proof makes it difficult to draw any concrete conclusions. The ocean is a vast and mysterious place, and many phenomena can leave marks on a ship's hull. Without more substantial evidence, the theory of a giant squid attack remains speculative. Marine biologists cast doubt on the theory, arguing that while giant squid are real creatures, they rarely attack ships and are unlikely to have the strength to drag a vessel the size of the Mary Celeste. These experts point out that giant squids, while formidable in their own right, are not known for aggressive behavior towards ships. Their primary habitat is the deep ocean, far from the surface where ships travel. Additionally, the physical capabilities of a giant squid, though impressive, are not sufficient to overpower and drag a large vessel. The biology and behavior of these creatures suggest that an attack on the Mary Celeste is highly improbable. The ocean depths, while home to many strange and wonderful creatures, probably don't harbor monsters capable of such feats. The deep sea is a realm of mystery, with many species yet to be discovered. However, the creatures that do inhabit these depths are adapted to their environment in ways that make them unlikely candidates for attacking ships. The pressures and conditions of the deep sea create unique life forms, but none that match the terrifying descriptions of krakens or giant squids attacking vessels. The fascination with sea monsters is more a reflection of human imagination and fear of the unknown than a reality of marine life. While the idea of a sea monster attack is captivating, it remains firmly in the realm of speculation. The stories of krakens and giant squids are part of a rich tradition of maritime mythology, blending fact and fiction in ways that capture the human imagination. These tales serve as a reminder of the ocean's vastness and the mysteries it holds. They also highlight the human tendency to explain the unknown with fantastical creatures, creating narratives that both entertain and caution. The allure of sea monsters lies in their ability to evoke wonder and fear, tapping into deep-seated emotions and primal instincts. The lack of concrete evidence and the biological improbability of such an encounter make it a less likely explanation for the Mary Celeste's fate. The scientific community, relying on empirical data and rigorous analysis, finds little support for the sea monster theory. The absence of definitive proof, combined with the understanding of marine biology, suggests that other explanations are more plausible. The mystery of the Mary Celeste continues to intrigue, but the sea monster hypothesis remains one of many, lacking the substantiation needed to be considered a viable solution. The mystery, it seems, lies elsewhere, hidden in the realm of the unknown. The fate of the Mary Celeste is a puzzle that has yet to be solved, with many theories but no definitive answers. The allure of the unknown drives the search for explanations, whether they be grounded in reality or steeped in myth. The story of the Mary Celeste, with its unanswered questions and enigmatic disappearance, continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of the vastness of the ocean and the mysteries it holds. The search for truth, whether it leads to sea monsters or more mundane explanations, is a journey that reflects our enduring fascination with the unknown.